Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at Marvel Legends series. X-Men celebrating 60 years. We have this 5-pack, and the last one we had was what some people consider big time letdown Wolverine pack. Mainly because some of the characters weren't related to Wolverine. But anyway, I like those characters, and including this, some people may question, right, these guys don't all gel together. However, it is a bad guy pack, so from that perspective, it works. I'm going to take my camera off because this is a big box. So on the side, we got Vertigo, we got Pretty Boy, we got Marvel's Strife because there's another Strife out there. We've also got a Marvel's Random and a Marvel's Zero. Oh, they're all Marvel. Sorry, I just realized that. And on the back, we have a promo shot and what these figures come with. Random being the weakest because he has nothing. Pretty Boy has some nice accessories. And yeah, so does Zero. And then on the side, exactly the same as on the other side. Let's start looking at these figures then. So firstly, I'm one of those people that has been collecting long enough that I've had 2013 Strife, and I've never had to worry about trying to find another one. So for me, 10 years later, it is great that they have released another Strife for A, those that weren't able to get the first Strife, and B, because they have certainly made improvements on the figure. I mean, if you just look at it instantly, this Strife looks far more menacing. I mean, look at that helmet. It's absolutely, whoops, no offense, of a Strife. It's absolutely stunning. I was just testing it because I was hoping it came off, but it doesn't. So, which is very disappointment. So, the helmet in first look at it, it's just absolutely stunning. Now, this Strife was released, although it's amazing that we got a Strife, it was a very dark time for Marvel Legends X-Men. We barely were getting anything back at this period of time. It was like scraping the barrel. It was like one very small wave at a time. And even when they released waves, it didn't go without a hitch. I remember we were meant to get Phoenix 5, Cyclops at one point. Never happened. Those sort of things. So, from my perspective, this represents a time where Hasbro weren't so good about releasing X-Men at all. So he also came with a sword, which I'll be honest, even to this day, I never understood this little baby sword. I swear he's never had a sword like that. There are different tones in terms of the armor. This is a little bit more like a bluey in here, whereas this is a little bit more darky. This is clearly silver, and this isn't as silver. And if I turn it around, you can see the helmet is just phenomenal on the new figure as well. All the way around, and the cape is slightly different, or maybe not too different, but there's certainly a different red color, even if that is a similar sort of cape, etc. So 2013 Strife has done well. He has served me well, and if you're just interested in that Strife, you could probably actually get him now for a reasonable price on eBay. I suspect he is no longer one of the holy grails since this new pack has been released. However, will always have a place in my heart. So there we go. There's the emotional crap out of the way. Not that it's crap, but all emotions are important. Just hope I redeemed myself in time not to lose some of you. So the helmet, there's this little bit of flimsiness here, which I'm not that comfortable about. The head, you can sort of move it around. Be very careful. There's a little movement up and down. Yeah, this whole front piece is flimsy, whereas this a little bit more harder at the back. Seeing there those white eyes. Now, one thing that I will say that I'm very disappointed about. We've had a few cables now. Why on earth wouldn't they give us a Strife with an unmasked cable head that doesn't have the techno-organic virus that affects him? That really bugged me, because there are moments where he doesn't have his helmet off. Or why wouldn't you create this so that it comes out? I know that's a little bit more trickier, perhaps, but is it? Not so sure. So I was a little bit disappointed about that. So the arm, you've got limited movement armor. You've got this big piece here. You can, if I can, lift that up. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you can tell I'm not ball joint is really tough. There we go. There we go. The movement is there. Remember, you can use such things as hot water and hair dryers to make these joints loose if you are worried about them. Don't put too much pressure on them because you could break them. There we go. We got a double on the arm. We got a pushy up hand there, which I do like. Do like that a lot. There is the ab crunch. There is movement there on the waist. Can almost do the splits. It's pretty decent. Got a swivel on that man-fi. It does have a double there, but you've got this in place, so it will restrict it. You can get it up there if you just bend the body. I'm not sure. Do you need to? Maybe you do, depending on what pose you're doing. I mean, to me, he was always kind of walks up and he's just menacing and scary and stuff. There is movement on this joint, although, oh, that feels, yeah, I'm going to be very careful with that. There is an up and down on the things. I've got some damage there as well. Not sure what's going on with that. There's a bit of damage on mine, which is a little bit disappointing. There. Somebody didn't do a clean job on both of them. Both of them are like that. I find that quite disappointing because this is meant to be the main figure for this release. So that, in my mind, is a little bit disappointing. And then just to wrap up this first figure review, let's bring Cable. There we go. And he is in his sort of X-Force uniform because that's when Strife was sort of around in the early 90s, and then he sort of disappeared, didn't he? He also comes with 2 fists. Not sure why he would do that when he can telekinetically pick people up and throw them around and do all that jazz. So, yeah, there we go. So here these are 2 together. So let's move on to the next figure. Okay, so our next figure in this pack is a Pretty Boy, and he comes with these 2 awesome guns. Not very well painted, but they are there, which is very cool. And, well, what can I say? It's very pretty, doesn't he? I love that hair. That looks awesome. I think they've done a really, really good job in terms of delivering this character. With, I love the little wires in there. I feel like there could have been a few more of those across the body. That would have been really cool. I love that on Mojo as well. That was one of my favorite parts of Mojo, was the detail and the wires, etc. And it's just a full mechanic body. Reminds me of, well, a certain C-3PO from Star Wars, etc. in terms of how he is. So he doesn't let this this body hinder him. He really does embrace it. It's very cool. And it's sort of like the Reavers, when we first got the first one, it was almost like, hey, here's one as a, because we can't think of anything else to give you, and we put in a free spare head so you can buy 2. It was almost like that mentality, which I thought was a bit terrible, but they've really upped their game. We've had a new Lady Deathstrike, we've had a Spiral, and we've had Bonebreaker. Yeah, Bonebreaker. Bonebreaker? Oh man, I've forgotten that bit. Anyway, so it was very, very nice to see this as part of this pack. So some people could be perhaps saying that, oh, this pack is a bit hit and miss. However, I like packs like this because I'm getting figures that I normally wouldn't get. So it looks very, very nice. So he comes with gun holding hands. He also comes with closed holding hands, like so, if he wants to beat down Wolverine, I don't know. And he also comes with these little special effects, so you can have him blasting, or you can have the sort of smoke effect. We've seen that a few times. I've got to say, I really do enjoy those sort of effects on my character. So let's just have a quick look at articulation. So the head can go round, it can go down, it can go up. The arm can go round, it can go up, it can swivel, it can bibble, it can do the double jointed thing on the arm, it can do the, I thought it did the upsy and the downsy thing on there. No, maybe not. Maybe that's just me. Now, there isn't much movement on the torso. And he's not got an ab crunch because he hasn't got an ab. But he can spin all the way around like a crazy person if you want him to. You can lift up like that. He can swivel on the thigh. He's got a double joint on the leg. That's right, if I get it right. There we go. got a lefty, he's got a righty, he's got an upsy, he's got a downsy. There we go. And he just looks absolutely awesome. I've got to say, I really, really do like this figure. It's so awesome. So, what do you say? Let's bring in some friends of his. And here is Pretty Boy with the Reavers. As you can see, they look very, very nice together, with Lady Deathstrike leading them. And this team's come together really, really nicely. I can't remember who's missing. I'm not entirely sure. The Reavers, yeah, they're like an enigma to me. They're not my favorite team of bad guys, even though I love the Outback era. Also, if you want, you can shove Pierce in there from the Hellfire Gala set, because he was sort of like the first Reaver, if you consider what he was doing to himself to eliminate mutants, which was weird because he was part of a mutant sort of cult in terms of the Hellfire Gala. And Spyro. Without Spyro and the Body Shop, we would not have Reavers, if I remember correctly. I may be talking complete gibberish, so she belongs in there as well. Looking dapper, and this is an amazing figure. If you haven't got Spyro, I suggest you pick that up. So, let's move on to the next figure in the batch. Here we have Vertigo, and Vertigo was part of the Marauders that invaded the Morlock tunnels during the Mutant Massacre. So it's great to see in one of these figures. In reality, what have we got? We've got pretty much just Sabretooth, and obviously Gambit, who led them down there. And we obviously got Mr. Sinister, but that is it. So it's nice to see a new Marauder join the ranks now. I do like this figure a lot, but one thing I would say, I was expecting it to come with some sort of effects, but it's also nice that we haven't got those effects, because I've got lots of effects, and they'll probably only give us those little weird circle things, etc. So the paint job is very, very nice. White with the green all the way down, which is very cool, and a nice green on top color. It looks really, really good. In terms of articulation, the head can go all the way around. The hand can go all the way around. It can lift up like that. You can move it there if you want. There is only a single on the arm, but it does go round quite well. Maybe I've misinterpreted that piece, but it is pinless as well. So maybe there's a double joint, and I'm just being me. The hand can spin around like that. It can go up, can go down. Then the movement is on the torso. That is where the movement is. She can almost do the splits. She has a swivel. You can actually move it at the ball joint, but you also have a swivel on the thigh. There is double, which is pinned on the legs. And then we got a lefty, a righty. Oh, there is a righty in there. An upsy and a downsy. So there we go. So there is Vertigo. And the only other accessory that Vertigo comes with is little fist hands that you can use to punchy, so to speak. Then we have the amazing Zero. So Zero is one of the characters that I know a little about. I can't remember if he was part of Strife's Dark Riders and he assisted in getting them from A to B. I honestly can't remember, but I feel like it was during those issues that I saw him. I also feel like there's some sort of connection to Excalibur, but I've not read fully Excalibur. I've only picked up issues throughout crossovers throughout the years, etc. I'm currently reading Captain Britain and looking forward to moving on to those Excalibur, especially with the announcement that we're getting the Omnibus Volume 3 this year as well. So, but in terms of how he looks, he does look very, very clean, very nice. Just got the zero there, and that's pretty much all he needs. Other than that, he's just a white body, etc. So very, very nice and straightforward. So the head can go round, can go down, we can go up. We can move it all around. We can lift up there. There's a swivel on the joint there. There's a swivel on the biceps. There is the double on the arm. There is an up, a down, turning all around as well. There is an ab, crunchy, crunchy, crunch. There is a spin on the waist. There is almost a splits. You got a swivel there as well. And he does have pins on the legs and on the arms as well. And he does have double down there. If I can get that in the right position, I can, yeah, okay. Anyway, he's got a movement on the calf muscle, an upsy, a downsy, a lefty, a righty, and so forthy. So there we go. So there is 0. And in terms of what does he come with? He comes with 2 fists. He comes with 2 open palmed hands. I felt like this was to say, no, we will not be talking today, young sir. Go back in your portal. And he's got his punchy to say, I will punch you if you do come through that portal. So there we go. That's my only way to interpret that. So let's move on to the last figure in this wave. The great anticipated goodness of Random. Wow, I love this figure. He looks absolutely awesome. Now, the biggest thing about this figure is he comes with no accessories, which is disappointing because I feel like he forms these on a whim, on control. So it would be nice to be able to pull them out or something, but this goes all the way up to that joint there. Let me just shove that out of the way. So it is pretty much the whole upper arm, which is pretty awesome. I love the little detail on there. You can see right in there, which is cool. And then on the arm, he's got these nice little tattoos, which is pretty cool. I'm not a tattoo man, but for those who are, you may be impressed by these or not. He's got a snake, this one. Not sure what he's thinking of. And then if I remember rightly, doesn't he morph? Isn't he like a smaller person and he morphs into this bigger character? X Factor, this run of X Factor, I've only read, once again, only a dozen sort of issues, or maybe not even that, where there's been sort of crossovers. I think the one in particular I'm thinking of is Kraden Creed, when he's about to be assassinated. Definitely in that one, he's got some beautiful boots. The artwork on the mold is absolutely stunning. Just look at that. Nice. It's got a really nice jacket. It makes me feel like I want to get it and get into shape. Look at that body. It looks absolutely stunning all the way through. They've done some real great detail with this figure as far as I'm concerned. So the head can not go all the way around. He is restricted, although if he doesn't have this jacket on, you could get that head round. He can certainly look down, but he struggles to look up. Arm can go all the way around. Can lift there. He does have the movement on the joint there. Got the movement on the biceps. He does have a double there, but he does have big muscles there, so you're not going to get very far. He's got the spin on the arm. There is the up and the down there, which is pretty cool. He does have the ab, crunchy, crunchy. There's no butterfly on this, which I was expecting. He's got a spin there on the waist as well. And he can do, not the splits, but almost the splits. He's got a movement on the swivel, thigh swivel. What am I talking about? I'm talking about anything. He does have the pins, and he does have a double on the leg, like so. There is movement on the shin. There is a double whammy, upsy, downsy, lefty, righty, whatever it is I usually say on the foot as well. So he does look pretty darn cool. And if he's got these guns out, you are not going to be messing with this man. I can't say anything bad about this figure. He looks really, really good. I really do like him. I think a lot of people were, I'm not sure if a lot of people were disappointed about this figure. I think a lot of people had reservations about this figure, should we say. Anyway, let's show him with some of his X Factor pals. And hopefully I've got the lineup right. I'm not entirely sure I have. And here they are all together. And they do look very, very cool. I feel like this is the X Factor that Random is meant to be part of, where Sabretooth and Mystique, I think they've got collars or something on at this point, if I remember rightly. Wildchild, I'm not sure how Wildchild fits in this, but it feels like he was in it. Polaris was still there after Havoc went missing. I'm not sure if Strong Guy's still in at this point in time as well. And then you got Forge trying to manage this sort of team, etc., the best he can in my mind. So anyway, that is Random with the X Factor team, and this is one thing that I'm liking about getting some of these figures that we wouldn't have seen certainly 10 years, definitely 10 years ago. We wouldn't have seen these. So maybe not even 7 years we would have seen some of these obscure characters, etc. But Marvel Legends series team are creating them now. They are looking into the wider X universe and giving us more. You know, never in my wildest dreams would I thought that Random would arrive. Even Zero, a character that I'm not very familiar with, for example. So they're doing a fabulous job in my mind in delivering these for all the hate that Hasbro sometimes gets from fans or moans about using the same molds again. I don't mind if the if they've given the right body and the character looks how he looks in the comics. I'm satisfied. You know, that's me. I'm happy. I've been collecting these since 2006, and if I think back to some of those figures that Toy Biz went out, I thought they were amazing back then. But now looking at them, I feel, whoa, what on earth was I thinking when I thought that was amazing? You know, I'll probably do the same in 10 years. I'll look at some of these figures, I think, what on earth was I thinking when I was saying that? You know, it is what it is, but they certainly are delivering in my mind at present. So let's wrap it up with the 14, folks. All right, so to wrap it up, here is the whole box set together, and they look very, very cool, although disjointed because they're all from different parts of the X universe, so to speak, so they don't necessarily go together as a box set in that way, but as villains, they do. And maybe Random, you can question whether he's a villain, maybe Zero as well, but the others are definitely villains. Or are they on Krakoa? They're probably all good guys now. Anyway, doesn't matter. I hope you like my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for watching. Really do appreciate you doing that. Also, thank you to everybody that is subscribed to my channel already. Appreciate you folks a lot. Make sure you look after yourself as always. Embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.